Do you think you have not gotten more traction because of lack of coverage?
Well, aren't those the same? I mean, well, how are they different? I mean, they don't.
That's what I'm asking. Why haven't you gained? Why do you think you haven't gained traction?
Well, two reasons. Certainly, my lack of a background in politics, and my and not being people don't see me as a politician. You know, that those are probably the easiest ways to look at it. You know, Spencer Coggs is running for lieutenant governor, and without trying too hard, people say, well, you know, at least they can conceive of him as a politician because he is. You know, that's much harder for me because they don't look at me as a politician. But I've done this for a year now, and that's a lot less time than Ron Johnson's done it, and Mr. Westlake was in quite a long time ago. There are a lot of candidates that have done well in much less time. So I believe that I've been in long enough to prove my mettle in the whole issue. I've walked the streets. I've been in parades. I've studied the issues with my meager mind. I have a dream understanding of Wisconsin, what I'd like to see, and the group that stands in my way primarily is a Democratic Party. You know, Mike Tate and so on, and what's it, Graham Zielinski. God bless them, in a different world. They'd be wonderful people there. I'm calling the Democratic Party the undemocratic party because I went to the convention. I was not allowed to address the convention. I was not allowed to hand out literature at any of the campaign, any of the Democratic events across the state. Nobody mentioned my name. I was allowed to go there and just and watch, which was fine. You know, is that democracy? I mean, and again, the Journal Sentinel is compliant with this. The Journal Sentinel goes along with who. Have you met Mike Tate? Have you talked to him? Is Mike Tate now the determining person in the state of Wisconsin who will get coverage? Is he? I mean, please vet Mike Tate sometime, and see is he. How many of all the people you would choose to make those decisions? He probably wouldn't even be in the top 1,000. You could probably think of 1,000 people better to decide what group of people should run. Let's say we don't have a truly democratic system. We're just going to, you know, get 50 people and they're going to choose who's going to run.
So
you know,
what's the alternative?
The alternative is for the Milwaukee Journal to start covering the candidates.
Now, what's the alternative for the party system?
Well, I would like to see them find other jobs. The party system is workable, and there are a lot of people who still believe in the party system, and I do believe in it. But the part that is missing now from the system are newspapers that have stringers and reporters that can go out and cover candidates. I talk to Ed Garvey rather regularly, probably every month or so, and he said, you know, when I ran, I would, you know, tell the local papers in Stevens Point that I was showing up, and I'd have 4 or 5 reporters. This is I guess that time the Journal would have, you know, how many Madison, reporters that were specialized in certain. So I had coverage. He says, now that's gone. Now money replaced that. And he said, now money buys coverage. That is what has happened. And so I'm not even being covered by the black newspapers in Milwaukee. My number one issue is black unemployment. The black newspaper editors and a lot of black politicians, they turn their back on me when they see me coming. And the best explanation for that, which is, you know, it's bad to guess what someone's intentions are, is there's a money flow from the government to programs and to politicians, and who politicians can make decisions on. And I don't follow that plan. I'm not part of that. So now I'm going to turn my back on you. When I walk up to Barbara Toll, she turns her back on me. She's never even had a chance to talk to me. So, you know, there's something very smelly about the whole situation. And the smell comes that that Governor Doyle and which of course when the Republicans are in party, they can do the same thing. Have a tremendous amount of power through their pocketbook at how money gets channeled in. And please, if you want to put something in the paper, say Tim John says that the black politicians at least in Milwaukee area, are compliant to promoting poverty in Wisconsin. The best thing to do to help poverty in Wisconsin is maybe to elect Republicans, because the Democrats have created a system where poverty is continued, and so therefore the SDC and these workforce development, these major anti-poverty programs are funded. I mean, how in anyone's world does the problems? Milwaukee is number 2 in the country with black male employment, and we spend through programs we spend billions of dollars on black people and poor black people, and the politicians, is Henry Sanders, he's not from here, he's from Middleton, but are any of the black politicians even talking about this? No, because there's money that comes through a conduit, and Mayor Barrett is part of the conduit, Governor Doyle is part of the conduit. Money gets funneled into these programs and people are bought off. Whenever someone in the black community comes up to me and says, I support Tom Barrett, 2 questions later you find out he's getting paid or she's getting paid somehow through an organization that is funded in somehow for an anti-poverty program or through the city. And everyone else sits there on porches, and I try and tell people, I say, why don't you get up and do something about it? I say, well, last time we got up and got mad, I got arrested,